Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trip to Horror Road. This is episode 15 and today I rewatched Hellraiser. Yes, what is Hellraiser? Well, Hellraiser, it starts in, I think it was Egypt or something like that, or India, where, no it wasn't, it was China or some kind of European country around that. Um, You see Frank, an everyday guy who goes up and grabs this box. You see him in this room. They're trying to figure out what the box does. Once he figures the puzzle box out, he ends up revealing the creatures called the Cenobites. But the one thing that he didn't know what the Cenobites are going to do. They tore him to pieces, and then the story continues then after that. You see this family come together, they come to buy the house. I think they already bought the house, because I think it was something to do with the family around everything, and they end up coming to live there. Then we'll have a character called Kirsty. I think it's not Kirsty. I think it was the mother who stars in this movie. She figure out that Frank is still alive, and all what Frank wants is blood to make him whole again. And the box, what we call it, is named the Labyrinth Configuration, and that box is one thing that you shouldn't even fucking mess with. So that's all I'm going to say about that. What I want to talk about this episode is how classic effects, VFX, and modern CGI, which is used now. With this movie, I think that stop motion animation, physical and the practical effects and the physical effects that they used for this movie, I think was spot on. Seeing the slow motion capture you see in a particular scene where Frank is rebuilding his body after Kirsty's father his blood came out of her arm or something. I think he cut it off a rusty nail or whatever it was. The blood seeps on the ground, but then you see Frank reforming where he formerly belongs, and literally he's all messed up. And the effects, the slow motion, that must have took at least a long time to create. The reforming, the resurrection of his character. And I tell you something, the person who acts the character as Frank, he pulled this up. He pulled this up as this not disfigured, I'm going to say decayed monster, this, who wants, all he wants is skin. He wants blood to make him whole again. And I think that what they did there in that sequence, they knew what they were doing. They knew that if practical effects still pulls it off, it will always do it. And this lives up to this very day. This is why I love 80s movies. They bring more realistic to what could happen in in our future. Something there was a bit of CGI, but it's only for certain things, like the electricity that you see in the laminate configuration, which is the puzzle box. And I think that was amazing. Of course you're not gonna have real electricity coming out of this box because it's only a prop, but this was very well done, how they did it. They only had at least 1 million to 3 million to make this movie, and they did a brilliant job. Even the prosthetics and putting the nails in size. I think it was nails, or it's they were going to use pins, but it wouldn't work, so they used actual nails to create the pinhead look, to make him menacing, to make him he wants to scare you, makes him want to make you freak out, make you think of distraught, you wanting to hate him. But his Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead, he brings a really good role to this character. He knew, like, if he does this, he knows that he will scare the living shitty fucking daylights out of you. You know this is not going to end good. Because this is like a horror movie that might freak you out. Because it's a body horror. It's erotic. It's even like a really interesting drama. Putting all of these like connections together. It's even a thriller. Trying to figure out what this box is. You will find out. This will solve your question if you ever wanted to watch this movie. And this brings you such amazing quality. Like this, if you ever saw Friday the 13th, how Tom Savini brings his practical effects to life, like using the prosthetics. Like he even made the makeup for Jason himself, which I'm going to be talking about in when I do the Friday the 13th video for the series. And I think like with the practical effects, they knew like if they didn't do it practical, made it look real, make it look like they were still using this kind of prosthetics, you know it could have been shit. This film could have got bad rap. Well, it would have, because this film is a cult classic. Like this film wasn't talked about because I think it was, but they made like multiple sequels. But the first one is turned into a very underrated film, in my opinion. And I think this film is absolutely brilliant. It's got really good reviews now because it's a cult classic, and sometimes it doesn't really get talked much, and this is what brings really good horror to life. And yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about, practical effects, because this film literally just shows you everything. Like there's a character that must have inspired the I don't know why I did that. Inspired the character Nemesis from the Resident Evil games, because he actually looked like the character with his jawline going. Like, pardon me. To make it much better, to make it look real. I think that they saw Hellraiser with the character. They knew that they could use that as an idea to put in their game to create Nemesis, and I thought that looked really cool that they must have got that from that movie. And it's just a really interesting movie, like inspired a character from Resident Evil before Resident Evil was even created, because it was made in Japan. Like so, like a Japanese man could have saw Hellraiser for the first time and got that idea to put into the third Resident Evil game, and that's what they could have done. Like even like the acting from the mother is pretty good. The way she acted, like she know she was trouble. You know that if she stayed, she could have done more business with Frank, who character who plays Frank, who's the one who comes back. It's not really a spoiler, but yeah, I will always rate this 5 out of 5 in my opinion. I absolutely adore the film. I love the first 3 films. Like next year you will see the Hellraiser 2 review coming, and that is Hellbound Hellraiser 2. So look out. And then the third one in 2023. So yeah, I'm still going to rate this 5 as I said. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about, practical effects. This is what this whole review is about. Yeah, I'm Ryan of Let's Get Kicking Movies. And I'll see you beyond the destruction. And I'll see you next time. Bye.